I'm on that screen over there. We'll be interlacing the actual question times themselves with some pundit interviews and bits and pieces to give more of an in-depth analysis as to what's actually going on. So, have you got your questions ready? Okay, we're going to need more questions than that, so let's try it again. Have you got questions ready? Yeah? So, without further ado, over to Alan.
Thank you very much, Mike. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Right, before we get started, many of you are old hands at this. If you're not, it's very simple. The purpose of the next 3 nights is for you, those who will be Surrey and those who will be deciding, to find out more about the candidates that are putting themselves up to election. There are 2 types of candidates.
We'll be interlacing the actual
questions
part-time
officers
and pundit pieces to give more of an in-depth analysis as to what's actually going on. So, have you got your questions ready?
Roles on the union executive.
Okay, we're going to need more questions than that. So, let's try it again. Have you got questions ready?
Full-time position.
Yeah. So, without further ado, over to Alan.
Thank you very much. Good evening, boys and night. Each candidate has been given, or each set of candidates have been given a question in advance. So the first question that you hear, they've had advance notice of. They got that on Friday. So when they give a slick, polished performance and then collapse thereafter, you'll know why that is. Then we've got some questions about their manifestos. Their manifestos you can find in this special edition of, I think we can call it the Stag. It's Roundabout Campus. They're online as well. And of course, we take questions from the floor. We'll have a roaming microphone, and we take questions from Twitter. And we have the rest of the team at the back of the room monitoring what's happening on Facebook and Twitter, and they will be messaging me, which leads me smoothly into what they'll be messaging me on this very slick Microsoft Surface. And you too could own one of these. If you vote and we reach our target, which is 3,753 votes, then we will be giving one lucky voter one of these beautiful Microsoft Surface tablets. They really are truly excellent. It's a great experience standing for election, and of course, I'm sure the audience is full of supporters and detractors of every candidate. It's also supposed to be slightly entertaining, so a little word of warning to the candidates. If we're finding you slightly monotonous, and not breaking out, then we will try and provoke you into doing that. And the audience can certainly play their part by whooping and cheering and waving their arms. But please, no booing and hissing. It's a terribly nerve-wracking experience if you've never done this before. So I ask everybody to be supportive and responsive and all the other ifs that are possible. So that's enough from me. You're here to hear the candidates. So with no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear from the candidates for International Officer.
Alan, sorry to announce that Stephanie Dangwai has just withdrawn 1 minute ago. So Stephanie Dangwai is no longer a candidate in these elections.
Oh, we're losing them very quickly. So, okay, we've right. We've got some community people on the screen. We'll be seeing them later on. We'll be seeing them later as well, but hopefully in a minute we'll have some international candidates. Look, that's you. There and there at the same time. Right, okay. I shall take this chance to... Oh, I have a message from the floor. No, you're nicking the sign. I think we'll do this the old-fashioned way. Please welcome to the stage Raza, Gianni, Iggy, and... Oh, Stephanie, but she's gone. So Raza, Gianni, and Iggy, come on up. Sit where your names are, please, so as not to confuse the audience. Right, good evening all. Okay, ready to start?
Yes.
Excellent. Now, for our first question, we shall go from left to right. So, and this is the question that all the candidates have had in advance. Theresa May believes that study visas are being abused and has announced a crackdown. What one piece of advice would you give to her to prevent abuse of the study visa system?
Cool. I'd like to start by saying that lumping international students with the immigration problem needs to stop. Theresa May has it's a complex task of reducing the number of people fraudulently trying to use the visa system to get into the country, but also like safeguarding the interest of international students. But what we've seen her done so far has resulted in fewer visas being given out. There's been a reduction from 300,000 to about 179,000 between the years of 2009 to 2013. Now this has now led to and also attendance monitoring, police registration, and the graduation ceremony visa application. They're all meant to make sure that international students are in line with their visa compliance. But what we've actually seen is the complete opposite. Just last week, Yvette Cooper, the Shadow Home Secretary, said, and I quote, "Theresa May promised she would tackle bogus students but allow the brightest and the best to study in the UK. Yet once again, the rhetoric doesn't match the reality. Instead, abuse is getting worse, whilst genuine graduate international students are being put off." Now, I feel like the issues are very different because people will always exploit the means to get into this country, and that needs to be tackled on its own whilst safeguarding international students.
Thank you very much. Johnny?
First of all, I should apologize that I face the same problem with every international student. My pronunciations and grammar have a lot of mistakes, so please forgive me for this a big mistake. But I'm trying to improve my program. And referring to the question, I know the visa problems happens a lot in our UK. This is a lot concern of our students, and I should suggest that we can have approval from the university. For example, we can have the letter for the president of society, letter of presidents of our student, and I should suggest that we can have approval from our university presidents to approval the student is come here to UK to study, not for work or not for fun or finding job, to having our time to focus on study, not just for the other purpose.
Sorry, just to clarify, are you saying that the union president approves entrance?
The presidents of our university.
Oh, the university, sorry.
About it.
Yeah, okay. Raza?
My proposition to this insisting problem is pretty straightforward. In my research, I've seen that the colleges have come up a lot, and they have been a main source of students exploiting their visa rights. So my idea is to restrict international students going to colleges. It's pretty simple, because if a student is coming thousands of miles away to study, he or she should come and to study for a specialized degree which a university offers. The colleges offer very basic degrees and diplomas which they can get in their own countries as well. So basically, I just want to say that we should restrict the level of students coming to colleges instead of universities. So they should come more towards universities than colleges, and that's where a lot of students exploit the visa policies. Yeah, that's basically it.
Thank you very much for your answers. Some bold answers there in our opening questions. A great start. If you're hearing some things that you want to comment on, start to get prepared. There'll be a mic coming around in a bit. And of course, you can tweet with the hashtag Surrey Decides. Now we're going to move on to your manifestos. We've had a little look at them, and we've seen some of the things that you said. Raza,
Yeah.
you say that you want to bring international students together.
Yeah.
All your experience, however, has been with the Pakistan Students Association.
Yeah.
So how have you brought international students together so far, being that your experience is just with one society?
So I've been involved in the Pakistani Student Association for 4 years now. So I've been president for 2 years, and I've played my role in that society. What I've seen is that during my course, I've had a lot of interactions with other societies, such as the Indian Society and Nepalese Society, and we've held events together as well. I've also held events with other societies from other universities as well. So I've tried to bring everyone closer together. We've been in contact with the Arabic Society as well. So my platform is quite big, and I have a lot of people on board with me, and I know a lot of friends who are from other nationalities as well, and I try to bring them closer together as well. And so basically, although my experience is with just the Pakistani society, but I've also been with other societies as well, as in interacted with them as well. So I have a good social network with other international societies, and that's what I believe I can bring them together as well. So I know them on a personal level. So.
Thank you very much. Gianni, you talk in your manifesto that international students should have more resource in their welcome to Surrey. However, they already have the most resources for their welcome than any other student to the university. So tell me how the welcome for international students is currently lacking.
Actually, I'm the international student this year. I have experienced that I face a big problem in my accommodation because I don't have my accommodation in my first 2 months. So I have to find another accommodation out of campus in myself. It's make me a big problem. I'm an international student. I don't have any relative in UK, and I don't have room. So how come I can adapt to UK situation, and how do I focus on my study without my room? So I've had a lot of experience that the international students do not have enough support in our campus. So that if I can become the international officer, that I will provide some language training course to our students, the international students, so they can use their English to explain their situation to others and to seek help. And also, I hope I can bring them more support for them. For example, to group them together into the same country, so they can share the same language in the first 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
If they face a lot of problem in the coming day, they can seek out with others in the faster process.
Thank you very much. Iggy, looking at your manifesto, there are some big promises for a part-time officer.
Yeah.
Realistically, what would be your priority?
Realistically, I think that the main issue I'd like to tackle has to be fees. Because as an international student myself, my fees have gone up in the past 2 years, and I find that ridiculous. I find that I come into a degree expecting to pay a certain price, and yet I leave paying so much more every single year. I feel it's not fair. I feel that home students, they get a set fee, you pay that every single year, and you know what to expect. You can budget, you can allocate. But for an international student, every single year is another surprise. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how much money more you need. And for me, that has to be fundamentally set if I was to be elected.
You knew that, however, before you came.
Yes, but it's also an issue that I've researched, because in the NUS there's a lot of debate about actually is it fair that internationals have constantly rising fees? That is it just? And the consensus is no. The consensus is that actually as students we can and we should be taking a stand against this. That actually they need to protect our best interests. We are not just cash cows. We're not just like walking bank accounts. No.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if anybody's got a question now, I'm not entirely sure who's on microphone duties, but now would be the time to put your hand up. Oh, there we are. We have a microphone over there. Has anybody got a question from the floor? Not that I can see. Let me go to online. Oh, sorry. Yes.
I have a question specifically for Iggy, but the other two could answer it as well, I suppose. My question is how would you go about trying to lower those international fees? Who would you try and contact about that?
So on the NUS website, there is a toolkit that you can use, and it starts with the student body. It starts with actually equipping the student body to know that you can campaign for things, and you can actually see that change in the university, and that will be the way I plan to do it. It wouldn't be a sense of Iggy going and speaking to this or Iggy going and speaking to that, but actually, as a student body, we rise up and we say no. We say this is what we would like to see happen, and we campaign for it. We push for it because we all realize that it's just not fair.
Can I just clarify? You're not looking to reduce international fees.
No.
You're looking to guarantee
Yeah.
how much an international student will pay on arrival to graduation.
Yes, that's
Okay, I think fees are a big issue. I'd quite like to hear, Jani and Raza, your experiences yourselves of international fees. Iggy is right. This is something that NUS are talking about, the fact that the university can charge an international student really a market price, and that can change from your first year to the second year to your final year. Has fees affected you, Jani?
How it affects me?
Are you worried that the fee that you will pay in your final year will be vastly different to the fee that you pay today?
Actually, I have a big worry because I come from Hong Kong and the currency is changing every year. So that I don't have sponsor. My sponsor is my father and mother. So I should pay a lot. I should work a lot to ensure that my academic result is very good because my father and mother work a lot and pay a lot for me. And also I'm planning to have a part-time job to ensure that I can pay for the fee in my school life, so that I'm really concerned of it. But I was planning to have some resources or sponsor scholarship to ensure that I can have a good process in my academic year.
Okay. Raza, are you worried about the prospect of rising fees as an international student?
Yes, I am actually quite worried. So the first year I was here, my fees has went from, I think, 14 to 16, about roughly. So that's the change in 2 years. It is pretty worrying, and as I don't know. Janet. Oh, sorry.
Jani?
As Janet said, it is my sponsors are my parents as well.
Okay.
All right, so I have to do something. I'm working part-time just to support myself, and so that my parents are not burdened with the maintenance fees as well as the tuition fees, because just the tuition fees is so much that they cannot afford anything after that. So every year there's about £1,000 increase in the fees, and which is not fair to us as international students, because we are thousands of miles away from our family, don't get to see them very often. And on top of that, you have a lot of fees which they have to pay out of their own pockets. So, their saving goes down, they have to invest in us. So it's not really fair to our sponsors, which is our parents, to be paying that much and so inconsistently,
Iggy, is it possible to ask you who's sponsoring your education here?
Actually, it's my sister. So my parents aren't able to just financially, but me and my sister are basically the only family I have in the UK, and oh gosh, this woman just does incredible things. Like, she pushes so hard just for me to get an education. Yeah. If you're watching, thank you. So yeah, my sister sponsored me.
I also like to thank Iggy's sister, being that she's paying my wages. Okay, all three of you are being supported by your family. That must put a huge pressure on you. A huge pressure to do well academically and not to let them down. Is it true that international students are under too much pressure to have fun at university. Jani, what do you think?
Actually, it's quite good to stay in UK rather than Hong Kong, because in Hong Kong we have much more pressure than UK. Because I have the process get into secondary school to university in Hong Kong is 1 to 5. 5 of us graduate from secondary school, but only one of us can get into the university. Wow. So the rate is very ridiculous. So my parents choose me. My parents process me go to into UK is guaranteed that I have a degree holder. I'm a degree holder. So and I feel that it's quite relaxed to study in UK because we have a lot of support from our university, and we can have more relaxed time, and we can join more society and increase our English. And also, especially in this university, we have the work placement. This ensures that we can have a work experience in my academic year. It helped us a lot for finding a job in the year after we graduate. So I think it's much more better studying in UK rather than in my home country.
Thank you. Iggy, are you under too much pressure to have fun at university?
Oh, no. You can't not have fun. I'm sorry, but you pay an increasing fee every year and you don't have fun? No. I think for me, it has to be a balance. There has to be a balance of, actually I'm paying for this degree, so I want to get the best out of it. But I'm also paying for the university experience. The university experience is not limited to just a degree, to just a certificate. No, the university experience goes far beyond that. It's the people that you get to interact with in different situations, be it through clubs, be it through societies, be it through sports. And as an international student, especially when it's not even in your country, why would you limit yourself? Why limit yourself? You can go and experience this one night, you can go and experience that the other night. So no way am I under too much pressure.
Raza, have you been having a couple of nights in the tiles when you've been here?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, so first year was epic. I was out every night, but you know that's how it starts. So you start, having fun in the first year because it's not that hard. Just settle in and make new friends. I don't think it's not really hard to have a social life and have good grades. It gets tough sometimes, but everyone should experience everything. Coming as an international student, you get to see things that you don't experience back home, such as this right here. This is not available back home. The universities there are very course oriented and they're very hard to do good at. So pressure over there is, I think, a bit more than the pressure right here. I think that you should have a balance between social life, studies, and you should know what your priorities are at the end of the day.
Yep.
So you are here to do a degree. You need to do that while having fun.
Yep.
So you need to get your degree done at a good grade. Have fun while doing it, but get it done. So yeah.
Thank you. All three of you are from different corners of the globe, all from very different backgrounds. How are you able to relate to all international students at the University of Surrey? Iggy.
I would say it wouldn't be possible for me to be able to fully put my shoes in another international student's. Yeah, into another international student's shoes. That's what I think I'm going. But I think as well, like as the representative, you are not meant to be from Czechoslovakia. You're not meant to be from Hong Kong. You're meant to represent their views. You're meant to actually be able to convey the issues that they face. Be able to meet them one-on-one in a group, by going to perhaps their the society meetings, and be like, yo, I'm here for you. What do you face? How can I better your experience? And then convey that to the students' union, because then, no, you're not doing it by yourself, but you're supported. Not only do you have the support of the students themselves, but now the student union is supporting you, and then you can make things happen.
Thank you very much. Jani, how will you relate to students from other parts of the world?
Yes, that is a good part. And also, I'm being the foundation student in this year, so I met a lot international students because all the foundation students is come from university, is come for international. We don't have local students in the foundation courses. So I will have many talk with my foundation student and classmate, for example, to go with their social life or ask them questions, play with them. They have faced a lot of problem of English and also the learning program because they are all foundation students. Their English not good as the university student. They should need a lot help. So we face the same barrier, even more than the university student. So I will talk with my foundation classmates, and also I would like to join as lot as the society I can join, because the society is fun, and also I can interact with the people all around the world and communicate with them. If they have any problem, I can fix with them and also know what can I do with them.
Okay, thank you. Raza?
I think that we have something which is very common, that is that we are all international students. So when we get together, we are away from our home, we can relate to every international student. So every international student is like family, all right? So, so we can relate to them, we know where they're coming from, what problems they are facing, how can you help them if you've been through the similar kind of situation. I'll give an example. As being the president of Pakistan Society, I had a very high number of students who were coming from Pakistan, and I went to them personally to sort their problems out, see what they're facing, if I could help them in any way. And the problem is the same, that they need someone to socialize, someone to, make them feel that they're home. So that is very important in every international student. Every international student needs to feel as if they're home. So that's what international students, I can do for international students. Yeah?
Thank you very much. Time is against us, ladies and gentlemen. We have a juggernaut of welfare candidates coming up later on. Now, you've all got pens and bits of paper in front of you. You want to flip to an empty page. You've got it's a pen. You've got an empty page there? Blank page, great. Lovely, that'll do. What I want you to do is write down the name of this year's international officer and then show it up to the crowd.
I know who he is.
Well, I want you to write down the name of this year's international officer. You've got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No. So, this time next year, let's hope that candidates for international know if you've actually made an impact, who they are. So, ladies and gentlemen, candidates for international officer. Mike. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Well done. There's just a very short break. StagTV are carrying on with their commentary downstairs, and we'll be back in 15 minutes with community and ethics and environment. Thank you very much.
These beautiful pundits, and we're going to discuss about the international officers that you just heard right now in the debate. International officer is, I believe, a very important position for a university which pulls in quite a lot of international students and is quite highly ranked in that sense. So something which is very, very important, because you've got people from all over the world coming into one place, which is Guildford, in University of Surrey, and their rights and everything else which relates to them in a different country altogether needs to be taken care of. Today's order will be international officer, then ethics and environment, and community officer, and at the end we'll go with welfare. Today with me, the pundits are Bakita Kasada, who is the former VP welfare, Jan Kugler, who is the current VP ethics and environment, Tom Windybank, who is the current VP welfare, and Nicole Wassell, who will be live tweeting from the Stag. The candidates that you heard just now were Raza Ali, Gianni Huang, and Iggy Ekipson. We heard their questions. We've got the manifestos with us, provided by the Stag, and let's get into a bit of a discussion with what their manifestos hold for us. Taking into account the first candidate over here, Raza Ali. What do you guys think about his manifesto, guys? Any thoughts?
Well, I thought that the ideas in themselves are good, but I thought that they were quite general in that they're not tangible, and I'd argue that they're not that measurable either, based on some of the points that are written down. I think the ideas and what he's hoping to achieve are very good, but it'd be quite nice to know how Raza is hoping to achieve those ideas.
Yeah, I think it'd be the point bringing international societies closer together. I think it'd be interesting to see what he actually means by that when we have international festival and all the events that go on around there. Just kind of more practically speaking, the actual things he wants to do with that, and then making every international student feel at home again. How do you actually do that in kind of practical terms?
It's the implementation which counts.
Exactly.